Hello, deep and wide thinker. Today's video, we are going to talk about tags, specifically tags in Heptabase, and how you can use them, the difference between a group. You can see you can create groups, you can create new tags. What are tags in Heptabase? What are groups in Heptabase? I'm going to give you some use cases of obviously how I use tags, and then also how you can use tags with the para method from Tiago Forte, journaling, and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to jump right in to tags. I'm going to jump into my whiteboard here, and I do want to give a shout out to Ramesh right here. I hope I'm saying your name right, but you're the one who reached out and asked for this video. So I hope that this answers your question. So first off, what are tags in Heptabase? Tags are a way to organize your notes, but not just organize, it's organized into a database. So every single tag is its own database, meaning that you can add properties to each of your databases, your tags. So you can add statuses, like if you're managing projects, you can add statuses and have like a Kanban board type thing. Multi-select, you can actually create tags within a database, if that makes sense. So all kinds of stuff. You can do dates, you can do database relations, and all kinds of stuff. So that's what tags are in Heptabase. All right, so if I go into, for example, one of my tags, Insight, this is a tag that I have. If I click into the tag Insight, it's going to open up a table view right now of all of the notes that are tagged with Insight. Right? I can create new views, which I'm not getting into specifically the databases side on this video, but you can create either a Kanban or a table view, and then every view that you create, you can change and filter. So you can have multiple table views, you can have multiple Kanban views of your tag, your individual tag, and then you can do that for all the tags, right? I'm just in one tag right now, the Insight tag. So that's databases and that's tags. Same thing basically in Heptabase. This is running a little bit slower because I think there's a lot. There's like 855 notes in here. Okay, one more. I want to pause just for a moment here and give you a free gift for hanging out with me today. This is a short PDF guide on how to get insights from the nonfiction books that you read and that you love into your PKM system. By the end of this guide, you'll have a simple system for highlighting your books, a mindful approach for adding content to your PKM system or PKM Notes app, a process for creating building blocks of knowledge for the future, and then a simple tip for making more connections between your notes. The link to the free guide is in the description below. Now, groups. What are tag groups? A group is a feature in Heptabase to combine related tag databases together. Essentially, it visually organizes your tags while in the tag meta app, like folders for tags. So this is the tag meta app. All these on the left-hand side are meta apps within Heptabase. The tag meta app, instead of having a whole list, if you've got quite a few tags, instead of having just one big list of tags, you can separate them visually by creating groups so that it's easier to manage, to scan. It only does, on this page, it only separates them. It does nothing else with the database as far as I know. It's just a way to separate and group your related tags so that it's easier to find and scan. You can also search for tags too, but that's the idea behind tag groups. With a tag group, You can move individual tags between groups, and all it's doing is just moving from one group on this page to another. It does nothing with the database. I can move it back. I can rename a group. I can delete a group, and when I delete a group, it's going to delete only the group itself, not the content or the tags within that group. And it'll actually let you know. It'll give you a message. Delete this group. Tags inside the group will not be deleted. If you were to delete a group, it would just move up here to the top. Like right now I have one that's not inside of a group called book. And that was for something else that I was showing an example of, not necessarily something that I use. I'll go over my groups here in just a little bit and how I use them. For now, I want to show some examples of how you could use groups and tags inside of Heptabase. If you are familiar with Tiago Forte, he organizes information with the para method: projects, areas, resources, and archive. So a couple different ways that you could do this. One is to do one group for para. So let's actually build that out. So new group, title it para, and then I would create a projects tag right here. It doesn't necessarily matter which one you choose. You can choose either one. Now when I add a tag, it's going to automatically go up here. It's not adding it inside of any group yet. I have to move it. So I'm going to move it into the para group. I can move the groups around, right? Then I want to add area. Maybe area. And then resources. Oh, shoot. Delete group. I meant tag. Resources. Right? So I've got, I don't necessarily need to do, I could do an archive tag. Yeah, I could do that too. So this would be like one group. Here's a group, right? And the tags inside of that group. So another way is to actually create a group for each of the phases of para. What that would look like is create a new group, and so I have a projects group, and then I have an areas group, resources group. I don't know if I would need an archive group. So, and then like here, I would create, for projects, maybe I could create front burner. This is a tag that I would use for a project, a single note, or a collection of notes that relate to a project of something that I'm working on right now. And then maybe like a back burner, right? I don't know, you could name it whatever you want. So it's a way to kind of organize your projects on what you're working on, what's kind of in the back of your mind and you're thinking about but not necessarily working on at the moment. And then for areas, like it could be like family, it could be health, could be finances, right? So these are the areas, the ongoing responsibilities, resources, UX design, golf, things that I'm interested in, topics I'm interested in. These are just examples here. Right, so I started to build this out, and I've got these individual groups now, and each of these are databases. So the front burner could be a new project here where I buy a Christmas tree, and it could be related to an area in my life, so maybe family. right? So I've got, if I go back to the tag database here, you can see I've got one note in family and one note in the front burner under projects, right? So I can tag one note in multiple areas. And so, and it could be under a resource too, right? Like another one, like if I find a golf resource, maybe it's like a how to swing your golf club. I have no idea. Right? That maybe that's a project, and it's a back burner project that I wanna focus on, and it's related to an area that I'm interested in, which is golf, or a resource that I'm interested in, a topic that I'm interested in. Hopefully, you're getting some idea here of how excuse me, how that can work when you create groups and then the databases within those groups. All right, let's look at journaling. So journaling, you could have a group for journaling, and then a morning thoughts and an evening reflection or something like that. So new group, we'll title it journaling. New tag, morning thoughts, which is going to be dragged down here. Evening reflection. Right, so every morning when I get up, I can jot down my thoughts for the day. I can jot down what I'm grateful for, and every note inside of that would be tagged with morning thoughts. So I have a database of my morning thoughts, right? I could put the date here, 12, what is today's date? 12/11/24, and just write down grateful for whatever, and then other things, just whatever, morning thoughts. So I have that here as morning thoughts. And then I thought, it may be kind of cool. Something else that you can do is almost like a mood group. So, and it could go with journaling. These two could pair together. So a tag inside of mood might be inspiring, and it might be boring, might be draining, might be energizing, something like that. Exciting, right? So move these down here. So for example, maybe on evening reflection, maybe that day you, instead of buying a Christmas tree, you actually went and cut down your own Christmas tree. We're in the season of Christmas, so that's on my mind right now. All right, so evening reflection, 12/11/24. I cut down my own Christmas tree today. And it may be like, man, this is something mood-wise that I was like, this is really exciting. It was inspiring, because I was able to actually, from go to the, a nearby forest or wooded area, and I actually took the axe and I cut it down. It was just, it was awesome, right? And then there may be something else, another evening reflection that was boring. It's like, man, I went and saw Moana 2. We recently saw that. And it wasn't boring, but I could say, it was boring. It was draining. Didn't like it, right? And then I have these tags that, like I can look and see, man, what was inspiring, in the last week or whatever, because I can sort and filter and all that kind of stuff like that. And I'm inside of an inspiring, the tag labeled inspiring, right? So it's a database that is inside that I have all these notes where I could just go through and be like, man, these are the things that inspired me recently, or these are the things that drained me recently, and I need to try and not do those things or tweak it? What can I do to make it inspiring? What about, the tree cutting was inspiring versus Moana 2 that was draining? You kind of get self-awareness as you go through that process. And this is how, groups of tags, like tag groups, and the tags can benefit that of creating a self-awareness for you. That's kind of cool. I may even try that. So I gave you some examples, right? Use cases for para, and then also journaling, mood, that kind of stuff. So the way that I use notes, not notes, tags and tag groups. It's very simple. You saw at the beginning of the video, right? Like I just have two groups, note type and index, and it's very Zettelkasten focused, or it leans towards Zettelkasten. In a way, it's not necessarily like a productivity kind of thing. Like para is productivity focused with projects and all that kind of stuff. So for me, it's more about just what the note type is, more about what kind of note is this. So the note type that I have, or types, is a spark, a prayer, meaningful moment, an insight, a source, and a YouTube idea. Those are the types of ideas. And then I have index, which is just a way for me to ask myself, okay, I found an insight, or I discovered an insight, or I discovered a source, which is like a quote from a book. It's somebody else's word, somebody else's idea. I didn't come up with it. I don't have my own version of it yet, but I was inspired by it. Now I have this source. What does that relate to in my life? And so for me, I have a dedicated wisdom category. I also have what I would call like value-based tags, where it's a life of creating. I have a life of with, which is relationships, things that are important to me. A life of learning. I also have things like manna, which is a Bible reference, but it's basically a way for me to capture how I have been blessed in my life. Like if I need to remind myself how God has blessed me, then I can go to the manna database and look at that. If I want to, for example, go look at some crazy things that happened or funny things and just laugh and cry and all that kind of stuff, as I go back in time, I can go to my meaningful moments. Here, this note type, I can go back there and I can look at all those notes. And so I have these note types, and I have index, and that's it. Like it's pretty simple. When I go into those, like you saw earlier, I can go into the source. Here, I don't have like a lot of. I'm not messing around at this point with the properties inside of databases. I did that with Notion, and I got stuck inside of the system. I wasn't documenting and capturing and thinking anymore. It was more about tweaking the system. And so that is I'm just barely dipping my toes in. I'm not really, not in a rush to use that feature right now as far as properties and creating all these databases. What works for me is just having a simple index and then the note type. And I don't have a ton of tags, but I imagine if you do have a lot of tags, groups is going to be helpful for you, especially on this page, because that's where groups come in handy, is grouping the tags. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it inspired you, gave you some ideas and how to use your Heptabase tag library and all that. And maybe if you have any ideas of how you use it, I'm all ears. Let me know in the comments below, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.